Jambo. It's so nice to be here in Nakuru, Kenya. I really felt at home when I came to Kenya in 2011. For some, this is not my first time in Kenya, it's not my second time, it's not my third time, it's not my fourth time. In fact, I stayed in Nairobi for I think about 14 months. I was one of the consultants that implemented the ERP, or Enterprise Resource Planning System, that Kenya Airports Authority is using. So I felt at home in Kenya, and this is why my heart beats so fast when I talk about Kenya and I hear about Kenya, especially about honey. Our invited guest, Madam N, AU IBA Director, all the invited guests, distinguished beekeepers, and allow me to say all protocols observed. I was asked to say who I am, even if the person who asked had said so, and where I come from. Yes, my name is David Mpomana. I'm a Zimbabwean, and I was born and bred in what used to be the second poorest district in Zimbabwe. And this is why my heart gets so sore when I see what I grew up in, the potential, and we still see young people going through what we went through. It is because of this passion to try and make a difference that landed me in being identified as someone who can represent the African continent on the global organization called Mpomana. Now allow me to temporarily put on the shoes of the Mpomana president, because he was supposed to be here with us physically, but because of FAO celebrations in Rome, he had to be there physically, and he then sent that apology and wanted to connect with us virtually, but that platform could not happen as well for technical reasons. So allow me to just explain a bit what Mpomana is about. So Mpomana, these are two words that are joined. Apis, the scientific term for bees. Mondia, I think it should be Spanish word representing globe. So Mpomana is a global bee organization, beekeeping organization, whose purpose or business is to promote beekeeping and anything to do with honey globally. And the name, maybe that some may be familiar, is International Federation of Beekeepers Associations. So this organization, this federation, was formed in its current form, in 1893. So we have more than 100 years in existence. But one thing I want to share with you as Kenyans and as African delegates is that we have been missing in action, not only us as Africa, but a number of developing continents, because we have seen a lot of activities, Mpomana activities, actually being now some are called Eurocentric. Most of the activities were happening in Europe and sometimes in the Americas, and recently in Asia. And the reason why that is the situation is because Mpomana is a member-driven organization. Whatever activities Mpomana does are driven by membership, where members vote, where activities are supposed to happen. And let me tell you that in terms of membership, 55% of Mpomana membership is Europe. No wonder why we've got many of the congresses happening in Europe, the symposia happening in Europe, and in fact, the Executive Council is made up of 15 members. 8 of them are from Europe, 4 are from Americas, and 1 from Africa, one from Asia, and one from Oceania. And I think at the end of my speech, we'll be able to see what we need to do as Africa, as Kenya, and as Africans. Allow me to get into the message that I need to deliver to Kenyans and Africa at large. Today is a special day in the history of mankind, a day that came to be recognized globally after such a struggle to have bees given the respect they duly deserve in our lives. We salute our brothers and sisters in Slovenia for spearheading the project to have the world recognize World Bee Day, and today we enjoy the fruits of their labor. Small as it may be, a bee has immense talent that has made the world to pause and reflect on its works, be it honey production, production of hive products and that are important to human wellness, crops and plant pollination, and biodiversity conservation. More than a third of the food that we eat has a footprint of the bee through the pollination services it offers. Majority of the succulent fruits we enjoy every day will not be so tasty if it were not for the bees. The pastures we see and the green vegetation we marvel across our landscapes are equally grateful to the bees. And this is the very reason why Africa is the continent where we are obliged to celebrate the bees, given the massive natural resources we are endowed with from the Almighty. Massive natural forests covering stretches of land from Cape to Cairo. But we are busy letting that natural beauty vanish in the blink of an eye. Yet today, 20 May, has come as a day the bridal veil is lifted for Africa to behold the beauty of the diamond hidden in the mud for so long. We salute our great statesmen and stateswomen for the great efforts and vision they've laid down for our motherland Africa, coming up with Vision 2063, the Africa we want. What a beautiful strategic basis for Africa to secure its permanent place in the history of great nations, united in developing their motherland and securing a bright future for generations to come. But planning for the future without protecting the environment now and today is like making great plans for a wedding with a bride whose funeral is happening in a home village. We seem to have waged war on our environment, a war that is threatening the very future we are so much proud of, the Africa we want. Look at the destruction of Miombo woodlands in East and Southern Africa on account of charcoal. Consider the amount of lumbering of precious indigenous timber happening in Central and West Africa, being exported in logs to make high-end profile furniture that is often exported to Africa at exorbitant prices. Consider the level of degradation at the hands of those who seek underground minerals happening under our watch, and sometimes with our blessings. Nature has started repaying us for our deeds with common phenomenon of cyclones never had before in Africa. Floods and floods every season. Even the heat waves have become our friends. Perennial droughts are now common feature across Africa, and the smell of desert heat is threatening to engulf the whole continent. The reason is we have beaten the hand that is feeding us, that is nature. Yet this day, the 20th of May, has been set aside to awaken us from the slumber and realize how important our bees are in protecting and enhancing our environment. Even more so for Kenya, the economic hub for East Africa, blessed with abundant natural resources national parks and massive forests, and even farmlands with massive potential to produce natural honey and beeswax to satisfy not only local market, but even export. Research institutions, we have even seen them here. There are even regional envy, where other African countries are bringing their honey and research samples for testing. But Kenya is currently importing honey from other countries. The Commission salutes the organizers of this event for a job well done to raise the bar for Kenya, East Africa, and the African continent with this event, whose sole agenda is to unveil the blessing we have for many generations considered a pest and often calling for exterminators when they visit us in our homes. Brothers and sisters, this day should awaken the Kenyan giant that has been sleeping and neglected for all along. That is beekeeping. Africa is rich in wildlife, and yet such a blessing has come at a cost, especially to communities around the national parks as a result of human-wildlife conflicts. Communities are now at war with wild animals and world conservation agencies. Yet beekeeping comes in to provide a natural way of resolving such conflicts by making communities see reason to conserve the natural animal habitat through national parks, beekeeping initiatives, and also the use of beehive fences to protect the fields from invasion by elephants. Thus, beekeeping is one of the activities, if not the only activity, that will not only help us to live in harmony with nature, but equally live in peace with nature at a profit. Beekeeping helps us to take care of our environment at a minimal cost, without much effort, yet at a huge profit that is sustainable over generations.